great to see you again. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, because I think that's really what you wanted to do, right? Yeah. No, I was working with a couple of guys from DSN out there in Winnipeg, and yeah. I was lucky. I was there for -5, -6, and a snowstorm. They don't fly. Everything's so flat. They just drive on top of it. The compressor's down. Drive on the ice. It's crazy.
That's dangerous driving.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside Scotiabank Center, located in beautiful downtown Halifax, Nova Scotia, for Halifax Hurricanes basketball. I'm Vince Williams, and joining me tonight is Matt Elliott. The Hurricanes enter tonight's contest undefeated and winners of 7 straight dating back to June 13th when they captured the 2015-2016 NBL title in the 7th and deciding game versus the Central Division powerhouse, the London Lightning. Who would have thought that this Canes 2016-2017 team would get off to such an improbable start with the changeovers of the lineup, 4 starters that are gone from last year's team, the Finals MVP, the 6th Man of the Year, the top 3-point shooter in percentage, one of the top Canadian players in the league, and a big man that was very good down the stretch, along with the Coach of the Year, is a recipe for a rebuild. However, don't tell this first-year head coach and GM, Mike Leslie, along with 3 returning players from that championship team, that this, thus far, is defying the odds of the conventional turnover. But tonight will not be easy as the Island Storm come in on a winning streak, 2 of 3, and looking like they might have caught their stride to end the Canes franchise winning record and halt any chances of them catching the London Lightning, who hold a consecutive winning streak at the start of the season at 11-0.
Yeah, Vince, this was going to be another good game between the Storm and the Hurricanes' second game of their series this season. The record is 3-3 coming into this one, but really from what I've seen from all the other teams, what I've seen from the Island Storm is their record isn't indicative of how good they are. To date, I would say they've given Halifax the toughest matchup, and that's no surprise given the history between the 2 coaches.
Absolutely. And here are tonight's Steel Chrysler starting lineups for the Storm. At point guard, number 1, Jaheel Carson. At forward, number 5, A.J. Stewart. At the other forward, number 11 on the Tyrell Baines, and the other forward, number 13, Terry Thomas, and rounding out the lineup, it's a shooting guard, number 15, Al Richter. And for the Canes, at the point guard position, Cliff Clintscales, number 12, shooting guard, Mike Poole, number 10, small forward, Tyrone Watson. And coming right into our broadcast area off the top, it looks like it'll be last touched by the Storm, and it'll be Hurricanes possession. And rounding out that starting lineup, the power forward Billy White, number 23, and C.J. Washington at center, number 20. And tonight's officials, Adam Detienne, Paul Hansen, and the crew chief, Peter Phipps. Errant shot there by C.J. It's no good, and Carson with the rebound. Carson drives, and it looks like a reaching call at the basket, and that'll be on number 10, Mike Poole. That's his first, team first. So Carson looking to be very aggressive, Matty, right off the opening tap.
Yeah, took it right to the rack. You see he got fouled there. Poole didn't agree with it. Doesn't really matter now.
So Carson will go to the line to shoot 2. And the first one's good. Jaheel Carson, the newcomer to the NBL Canada and to the Island Storm, a very good-looking point guard. 5'10" from Arizona State University. And he knocks down both. So an early lead right now for the Island Storm, 2-0 in the early goings here at Scotiabank Center.
Yeah, Carson's been good for them this year. He's averaging almost 20 a game, leads them in assists at almost 6. That's a pretty good stat line for anybody.
Billy, cross court, Poole, 3 balls way off, tapped around, and Thomas comes up with it. Thomas looking to run in the transition. Thomas with the left hand, no good, and the flush on the return by Terrell Baines. So good start here for the Island Storm, Matt.
Yeah, great follow-up there by Baines. Halifax, last 2 shots, they've looked a little bit, well, the shots have been way off, but the team themselves have looked a bit off.
Billy
Nice
drives
save.
and one. Through the contact, nice drive and patience on that good ball rotation, Matt, and Billy White found the opening, slashing through the rim.
Yeah, points in the paint. That's been a big thing for Halifax all season long, and it'll probably, the last game these two played, both had heavy points in the paint. I expect the same thing here. Got Billy White rocking the brand new pink kicks there.
Billy White, very impressive start to this season. One of 3 returners from that champion season from last year. Poole, jump shots, no good. Knocked around, Baines comes up with the rebound. Carson looking to run.
Good job by Watson creating another opportunity for Halifax. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize.
Carson with the drive, contact's there, no call. And the Canes come back the other way. Clint Scales in transition to CJ,
Great pass.
and CJ finishes. A nice no-look pass in transition by Clint Scales.
That was great. I didn't even see CJ going down there myself.
And that's what CJ does. His energy running the floor. It's going to be a test tonight for A.J. Stewart to keep up with him because he runs from rim to rim.
Yeah, he's a high-energy guy. One thing Halifax has is a lot of those.
Thomas for 3. Shots too strong. Rebound by White. Watson now trying to back down Ricker, swings at the Poole, and Poole steps on the sideline there, and that'll be a turnover. It'll be Island Storm possession. Tie ball game here. 10:03 left in the first quarter, Storm and Canes. Second time around, Matt. It's always the toughest one. You figure out what you need to do after you watch the game film, which team's going to make those adjustments to be successful.
Yeah, that's right. Especially when you got 2 coaches again that have a big history with each other. These guys, you know, they're going to pay a lot more attention to the game film, see if they can pick up any more cues.
Yeah, there'll definitely be no secrets. 14 on the shot clock here. Baines looking inside of Thomas. Thomas with a nice move, and he was able to beat Poole to the basket. So great positioning on the basket there by Thomas. He was able to gain that advantage.
Yeah, good positioning. All he had to do was give that drop step, and he had a clear shot at the basket.
Watson kicks it out to White. Klink now directing traffic. CJ for 3. Bang! And CJ off to a good start. Little errant with the first shot in that first possession, but he seemed to find his range from distance.
Product of University of Alabama, Birmingham, D1 school.
Stewart trying to back down CJ. Stewart, sky hooks, no good. Rebound by White. Klink Scales closely guarded by Thomas. A little bit of a mismatch here in space for Thomas trying to guard a quicker guard and Klink Scales. CJ looking for 2 for 2, and he misses. That's off as Stewart was able to close out on that time down, so he's 1 for 3, from distance, CJ is.
Yeah, the shot selection so far is not looking great for Halifax.
1 point lead for the Canes. Carson now. Taken, Clint Scales off the drive and 1, and count it for Carson. Quick crossover at the half court line. He was able to beat Klink Scales to the rim. Klink Scales unable to get in front of Carson, and Carson was able to finish through the contact, as you can see in the replay here.
That's
10 times out of 10, Matty, that's going to be called.
Yep.
Especially coming across the body there.
And that's Carson's game. That's what he looks for. He takes it aggressively. He goes into that paint, and he looks for those fouls. Reminds me of Jason Kidd.
Not a guard that likes to settle for the jumper. And he completes the 3-point play. Carson has 5 on the night for the Storm. White now driving on Stewart and count it. Good take and positioning by Billy White. Billy looking to be very aggressive, taking the ball to the basket tonight. Not settling for the jump shot. Did a good job in positioning. As you can see here in the replay, good, didn't settle, had some space, too much space by Stewart. Was able to blow by him with the left hand, and not a good job defensively there by Stewart, but Billy unable to finish the three-point play. Carson thought about passing it inside of Thomas.
He was wide open there for a little bit. He missed an opportunity there.
Thomas, dribble drive, inside in the
Great
rejection. And a foul call. It looks like there might have been some contact on the right arm.
One there.
If you take a look at the replay here, it looks like that foul call is going to go on CJ, and that'll be his first. Nice dribble penetration here by Thomas. Pocket pass inside, and it looked like he did get him on the arm there, just at the wrist area. So a pretty good call there by the official on the baseline, Adam Detien.
Tough call to make. I wouldn't want to make it.
So Stewart will go to the line to shoot two. Makes the first. A.J. Stewart, 6'9", center from Kentucky. And he misses the second. 1 point lead here for the Storm. Quinn Scales inside to CJ. CJ backing down Baines, shots no good, rebound by Billy.
Great finish.
And that was all set up by the mismatch inside as Billy had the smaller guard, Jaheel Carson, trying to block him out underneath. Carson off the window. Great dribble penetration, crossover, and contact by Jaheel Carson. You can see tonight Jaheel Carson's come out like a man on fire, and he's taking it to the rim. But he looks like he's coming up a little bit lame here as he's favoring his right leg.
Yeah, it looks like he took a bit of a shot there.
So Carson, perfect from the field tonight. And perfect from the charity stripe as well, as he completes another three-point play. Jaheel Carson being very aggressive tonight.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Salerno, I'm going to keep going back to that well.
Thomas
Again,
knocks the
quick
ball
hands by
away
Thomas.
from Mike Poole. Poole complaining a little bit about a foul, possible foul call. No call coming. 14 seconds on the shot clock. 7:42 left in the first quarter. Storm by 2.
Thomas has got those quick hands. He averages 2.5 steals per game. Great finish there by Billy White.
Billy White is going to work underneath on A.J. Stewart. Stewart having problems defensively, and that calls for a substitution for Coach Salerno as Gibson jumps off the bench for the Storm. Leon Gibson, 6'9", center from Houston University. Checks in for the first time, and that'll be foul call number 2, foul on Stewart. Stewart will go to the bench, as I mentioned. It'll be team number 3 as Billy was able to complete the three-point play. Thomas now trying to back down Watson, and good defensive play there, moving his feet and not allowing Thomas to get the baseline was Watson, and forces the turnover. Pools, jumper, no good. Rebounds kicked around by Carson, picks it up. Looking to push it in transition to Thomas. Carson thought about taking it. Good defensive closeout there by the Canes as Carson turns it over. Watson now back the other way. Thought about it and pulls it out. Clint Scales will man the half-court offense. Poole. CJ with the spin move. Inside to Billy. Billy with the reverse. Great half-court set and patience.
Excellent.
By the Canes on that possession, Matt.
Yeah.
Gave up a good shot for a better shot.
Yeah, they ran a nice pick and roll there, but you see CJ just dished it out. That real nice execution of that pick and roll opened up that pass underneath for Billy.
Another turnover by the Canes, and the Canes almost turned over. Great steal by Klink. Kicked out, and Thomas steps in front of it, and he gets another steal. It's Terry Thomas, the quickness. Last time the Island Storm visit here at Scotiabank, Terry Thomas had a pretty good defensive day, Matt.
He had a great game. He's a two-way player. He's a guy that's going to drop about 20 on you a game usually or more. and he's going to come up with at least a few steals and probably a couple blocks. And just even his off-ball defense, he's just a solid player all around, making a good case for himself as the Canadian Player of the Year this year, if not an MVP, if he keeps up playing like this.
Absolutely. Terry Thomas amongst the league leaders in steals. Thomas now driving off the window, and he gets it to go as he was unfazed by the defensive rotation by CJ. Alley-oop, CJ finishes.
Great look by Clint.
And that's what you get from Clint Scales. You got to pick this guy up full court. You can't allow him to man the basketball at the half-court line because he can make any pass from any position on the court. Baines unable to convert underneath. And a one and done for the Storm. Clint Scales inside the white. Tried for CJ. Good defensive play by Gibson momentarily.
Had the right idea.
Clink back inside of CJ, draws the contact and finishes through the contact. So CJ, another aggressive game. I like the way CJ is playing thus far. Him and Billy White have been a tandem underneath the basket that the Storm just can't figure out right now.
They've been excellent underneath the basket. They got great length. Unlike their last game, the Storm have a couple guys that can match up with them athletically and lengthwise, but they've just got great moves, great footwork, and that's what's accounting for these points underneath.
Timeout on the floor. Canes with a 5-point lead in this first quarter. Doing an outstanding job at distributing the basketball, the Canes are. For Billy White, the high man thus far, perfect from the field at 5-5 with 11 points. For the Island Storm, Jahil Carson, 2 for 3 from the field. Perfect from the charity stripe, leading the way with 8 points. So just take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Hurricanes. The Canes will go on the road for a mini 2-game road trip as they will visit the Moncton Miracles at the Coliseum in Moncton. And then they'll take on the upstart in trying to get off the snide, the 1-5 Cape Breton Highlanders at Center 200. So that's next weekend. Canes will be on the road starting Thursday and then Saturday at Center 200 before they return back here at Scotiabank Center.
Yeah, Cape Breton's another one of those teams that I think is their record overall isn't indicative of the quality of the team that they've got, 1-5.
You have a sense that they're ready to turn that corner.
Yeah, I do. New team, so it might take a season or two, but when they come here, they always give Halifax a good run. So, like I said, there's a lot of parity in this league, despite what the schedule is going to show you. There hasn't been any games within the Atlantic Division that I've thought that Halifax was going to run away with it.
Fans, don't forget to reach out to your Hurricanes on their social media handles, on their website at halifaxhurricanes.ca, their Twitter and Instagram at HFX Hurricanes, and their Facebook at Halifax Hurricanes. And don't forget, follow everything NBLC on their website on nblcanada.ca. So Carson, get it going here for the Storm. Coming out of the timeout, down by 5. O'Corey checking into the game for the first time for the Storm.
It's nice when you can have a 2-time NBL All-Star coming off the bench like O'Corey.
O'Corey now drives inside. And a good hesitation there by Gibson as he was able to get CJ off the floor and make that shot underneath the rim. So good possession coming out of the timeout, Matt. Able to execute on offense. That's what you like to see when you call a timeout.
Yeah, and it's always a sign of a good coach too, a guy that can generate a good possession like that each time after a timeout.
And good defensive play there by Gibson as he was able to pull the chair on Billy. As Billy tried to back him down on the left side, and a good defensive play by Gibson, making the adjustment defensively. Thomas knocks down the sweet jumper in the mid-range. And that's what you get from Thomas, able to do a lot of things offensively, knock down the mid-range jumper and get to the rim and finish as well.
Yeah, he's like a Swiss Army knife, man. He does it all.
CJ now rises for 3. Shots too strong, rebound by Gibson. Carson off the screen, jumper. Shots short, rebound by CJ. So good defensive play, not allowing Carson to get inside that painted area. And good slashing rim. Play to the basket and finish by Mike Poole. Poole being very aggressive. Absolutely, Poole being very aggressive, not settling for the jump shot, even though we've seen him make it from the mid-range. He's a pretty good shooter from that distance, but had to get himself going with a drive to the basket and finish. And a nice spin move in reverse layup there by Gibson.
Nice footwork underneath.
So both teams starting to trade baskets here coming out of that timeout. It's a 1-point lead. Just about 3:30 left here in this first quarter.
So far for Halifax, it's been the Billy and CJ show with 11 and 9 points respectively. That last two that we got there from Mike Poole was the first of the points that hadn't been scored by Billy or CJ at this point.
And Antoine Mason will check in the game for the first time for the Canes, and coming back the other way for the first time is Al Stewart for the Storm. Poole's jump shot's no good, rebound by Gibson. Corey thought about three, tried to get it inside, a good defensive play there by CJ, and miscommunication between him and Clinkscales. The Canes turn it over. Gibson now inside and finish. Too easy there for Leon Gibson underneath the basket.
Yeah, Halifax didn't play that. The points he scored there, not that time, but the time before, he earned them with nice footwork. That time, it wasn't much of a fight put up by the defense down there for Halifax.
So the Storm will go back up by one. Poole rises, jumper's good, silky move, jump shot by Mike Poole. That's what you get. We talked about it, he can hit that jump shot. Thomas fires for three, shot's no good. And tipped around a contact, initiated by Billy, and Billy will be called for the personal. As Al Richter checks back in, and Thomas will go to the bench, and Taquan Zimmerman will check in for the first time, along with Anthony Cox for the Canes. 1 point lead for the Canes, 2:36 left in this first quarter. The rematch, Storm and Canes here at Scotiabank Center. The only game tonight on the NBL Canada schedule. Stewart drives, kicks it out to O'Corey. O'Corey fires for three, shot's too strong. Gibson with the rebound, second chance opportunity, and that's knocked away. It looked like Clinkscales knocked that away from Gibson. He's having a few words there with official Paul Hansen that it might have been last touched and off the body of Gibson. Nevertheless, it'll be a reset of the shot clock, 23 on it to be exact. 2:23 left in the first.
Got to make sure you box them out underneath. Close game like this.
Stewart, jumper, too strong, tipped away. And Gibson with another offensive rebound in this possession. Third chance opportunity for the Storm. Gibson now trying to back down Ronaldo. Ronaldo checking in for the first time for the Canes as well. Richter fires for three. Jump shot's good. So that's what you get when you give up second and third chance opportunities. You give the team an opportunity to hurt you, and they were able to hurt you on that possession, the Storm were.
That's right. You can see Halifax good. They had good help D. They collapsed underneath, but that left Richter wide open.
An offensive foul on the baseline called on Anthony Cox. That's the 17th foul for the Canes, and the first for Cox. You can see in the replay. Good job in positioning there by McCullough. Excuse me, Christie. Clinkscales. Zimmerman swings it to Mason.
Thought about it.
Mason taking Richter off the dribble. Nice
Great
pocket pass underneath the basket, and conversion to Anthony Cox. So good movement without the basketball by Anthony Cox, but an even better play on the baseline by Mason.
Yeah, it's a great job for him to spot that cutter coming through.
Richter trying to take Mason off the dribble. And Richter draws the contact on Mason, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. As Kenny Otieno check into the game for the first time for Clinkscales.
He had a good game last game. He put in solid minutes. Didn't fill up the stat sheet or anything like that, but he had a great game doing kind of those stuff you don't see on the stat sheets. Tight defense, good off-ball defense, moving without the ball.
Richter hits the first. Just to add to that point, he didn't make many mistakes. And he was very aggressive. He didn't look intimidated out there. He didn't look timid. So
yeah, he looks comfortable.
He did a pretty good job coming off the bench, even though the game was well in hand. Mason looking for a screen from Cox. Tries to split the D. Corrals it, kicks it out to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's shot's no good. Rebound there by Gibson.
I don't know if that's the shot you want Ronaldo taking.
Stewart thought about the penetration. Goes back inside. Nice pocket pass. Who can't convert is Christie. Gets his own rebound. Trying to muscle it back up. And there's Ronaldo with the rejection. And that's what you get from Ronaldo Dixon.
Yeah, he's great underneath there.
Great rim protector. Corey tries his hand. Shot's no good. Christie with another offensive rebound and can't convert. So the help side defense just not there right now for the Hurricanes.
Neither is the offensive rebounding. And that's going to happen. If you keep giving up at offensive rebound after offensive rebound, it's not going to be good. Someone's either going to score or you're going to have to hack someone because you get sick of it. That's what happened there. That said, the Storm do lead the league in offensive rebounds per game going into this one.
They do like to crash the boards, and they got some bigs that can get the job done.
Yeah, they got those bodies.
As Ryan Christie, 6'7" power forward from Niagara, the Canadian from Hamilton, Ontario. So he's able to convert both free throws.
He's got good bodies underneath there. You got, get Leon Gibson, Houston, D1. You're talking about Terrell Baines, another big body, a guy that was 2008 Conference USA All-Freshman team with the Marshall Thundering Herd. You're going to get some boards.
Zimmerman's shot's no good at the buzzer, so not the finish Coach Leslie envisioned. As they got off to a very hot start, was able to leap out in front and force Coach Salerno to call a timeout midway through that first quarter. But since that that timeout, the Island Storm found a way to right the ship as they take a lead going into the second quarter by 4.
Yeah, and it looks like Halifax, I haven't seen anything from them yet that shows me that they're all in sync. Billy's having a good game. CJ's having a good game so far. They've been the ones chipping away at the scoreboard. Other than that, Halifax has kind of looked out of sync right now, not on the same page.
So after 10 minutes, 4-point lead for the Canes. Trying to continue the consecutive win streak from the start of the season. Trying to catch the London Lightning as they were able to convert 11 straight wins in a row, and that is a league record. But nevertheless, it is a franchise record for consecutive wins for this Halifax Hurricanes franchise man.
Yeah, and it's great. You can see it in the crowd here. This is probably one of the, I'd say one of the bigger crowds we've had so far this season. So it's starting to catch on. People are starting to realize that there's some good basketball to be played here. Got a 6-0 team. So if Halifax can keep it rolling, it should be good.
Now, fans, and don't forget, if you are in the Halifax area and watching this game on the live stream, we do appreciate welcoming in the Scotiabank Center. Vince Williams and Matt Elliott with the call that the Canes have some upcoming home games after they have a mini road trip, back-to-back road trip next week as they take on the Miracles on Thursday night and then head down the Trans-Canada Highway to take on the Cape Breton Highlanders at Center 200, but they return back to the Scotiabank Center on the 26th as the St. John Riptide visit the Scotiabank Center for the very first time to take on your Halifax Hurricanes. It's a 3-game set at home for the Canes, and on the 28th, the Windsor Express come in from the Central Division, and the Island Storm round out the 3-game home set on the 29th. Here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a Sunday matinee of basketball. And the Storm and the Canes will meet for the 3rd time on the season. So just about ready to get started here in the second quarter. 4-point lead for the Storm. Stewart, Christie, O'Corey, and Gibson and Richter will start the quarter. For the Canes, no changes. Mason, Cox, Zimmerman, Ronaldo, and Otino. O'Corey now with the drive and a rejection at the rim, but a foul call.
Must have got some body there.
On the contact, O'Corey looked like he drew the contact first on Ronaldo. before Ronaldo was able to make that rejection.
Looked like a great defensive play by Dixon. Coach Poole not happy. Excuse me, Coach Leslie not happy with it.
So Corey, it's the first. As you mentioned, Nick Corey, two-time MVP. He knocks down the second.
Yeah, Okori, two-time NBL Canada All-Star. He's been with this, I think it's his third season now with the Storm. He's a solid player.
Did I mess that up and say MVP?
I think you did.
I did. I thought you said MVP,
No,
but
no.
All-Star.
I said All-Star.
My bad. I should know these statistics. But we've been thrust right into action tonight.
Great job underneath by Koch.
Knocked out of bounds. So I got to clean that up. Knocked out of Corey. Does play like an MVP. Now I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole here. But he does play like a league MVP. He's definitely amongst the league leaders when there is a conversation who should be MVP or not.
Yeah, definitely. He's a quality guard.
Christie now trying to back down Ronaldo. To the contact, and it's no good as he's called for too many steps. Good job of working his way inside the paint. But he was looking for some contact there. None coming. Nevertheless, there'll be a turnover and a good defensive stop for the Canes.
Yeah, Coach Salerno, you can see he's sticking with the big guys there.
And I don't blame him.
To do it.
I don't blame him. He's getting a lot of productivity, especially on the offensive end. And offensive rebounds. Ronaldo with the sky hook.
Great touch.
Good spin move and speed to get to the middle of the paint as he was able to elude Christie. And that's just a tough shot to defend. That sky hook in the lane. Ronaldo's able to convert. Richter now gets it knocked away momentarily by Zimmerman.
Great hustle.
Chance to run in transition. Mason now through the contact. No call coming, but he finishes.
Hustle points. Those hustle points. Take one, Zimmerman, go into the ground, get that one.
Those 50-50 balls, you got to come up with them. Richter's shot's too strong now. Gets his own rebound off the long rebound. And a finish by Gibson.
He's having his way underneath there right now is Leon Gibson.
Continuing to have a monster game inside for the Storm. Ronaldo, shots no good. Stewart now coming back the other way.
He's usually a great finisher underneath there. It didn't look like he knew what he was doing there, though.
This last touch by Gibson. He almost had another offensive rebound. Checking into the game for the Storm is Thomas and Baines, as Richter and Christie will go to the bench. 4-point lead for the Storm. Cox now trying to back down Gibson. Kicks it out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman fires. Shots no good. Rebound by Mason. To Tino. Tino with the pump fake. Double team. Try to kick it out. Turns it over. And Thomas comes back the other way. Thomas in transition. And a follow-up two-handed flush by Terrell Baines.
Somebody stop the bleeding.
The hammer. The two-handed hammer in transition. Another offensive rebound coming by the way of transition. But you got to be impressed tonight by the Island Storm, and they are making it a point, a key point, to get to the basket and crash at least 3 to 4 guys on the glass when the shot goes up.
That's right, and it's obviously going their way. That's why they've got the lead. They're having their way underneath with those bigs. They're using those big bodies offensively and defensively. Kenny Otieno, you see, he made that cut into the paint there, but he went in without a plan, found himself surrounded, nowhere to go, and ends up popping it up to Terry Thomas. We had another steal for him.
Yeah, definitely have to have a plan when you're driving baseline, as he got caught as he jumped in the air and was unable to make a short pass there as he tried to cross it. Active hands by the Storm. Storm with the lead. Timeout on the floor. 6-point lead for the Storm. Hurricanes basketball here at Scotiabank Center. Vince Williams, Matt Elliott with the call. Fans, don't forget, to continue to reach out and build this great league across our country throughout the Atlantic Division and the Central Division. Get engaged. Check out the Hurricanes social media handles. Their website, halifaxhurricanes.ca, their Twitter and Instagram at HFX Hurricanes, Facebook, Halifax Hurricanes, and don't forget to follow everything NBLC, their website, NBLCanada.ca, their Twitter handle at NBL Canada, and their Facebook at NBL Canada. So 9:18 left in the second quarter, 6-point lead for the Storm. As A.J. Stewart checks back for the Storm out of the timeout. So it'll be Baines, A.J. Stewart, Al Stewart, Thomas, and Okori for the Canes. Cox, Otino, Mason, Zimmerman, and Ronaldo.
Going again with a 3-guard set, really.
Mason directing traffic. Coming off the screen, fires for 3. Bang!
Great shot.
As Mason able to convert coming out of that timeout. Beautiful execution by the Hurricanes, cutting the lead to 3. Thomas fires for 3. Bang! Right back at you, says Thomas, as he was able to knock the shot down. As Mason unable to close out all the way on Thomas. We have a stoppage in play, and it definitely looked like a moving contact on the baseline. I think they got it right. As Mason was trying to move around on that baseline, and Stewart, that looks like it might be his 3rd. So some decision time right now for Coach Salerno. As A.J. Stewart picks up his 3rd personal. And Mason, and it looks like it was from distance. As Okori drew the contact, and Antoine Mason will go to the line to shoot 3.
Yeah, great job of Mason there, keeping his arm up to take that hit.
As you can see, Coach Salerno not happy, having a word with the crew chief, Peter Phipps, about some questionable calls here in this possession. Mason unable to convert on the first. If there's one part of Mason's game that seems to struggle just a little bit and getting better game by game, it would be the free throw shooting.
Yeah, and you would think a guy with such a great stroke from beyond the arc and such a good jump shooter wouldn't have difficulty with that. But 1 of 3 there. Those, you got to make those.
Cox with the great hustle and able to save that ball on the end line. Last touched by the Storm. So the Storm continue to compound their difficulties here defensively, and coming back for the Storm is Christie, as Stewart will go to the bench with 3 personals. Otino now. Canes with an opportunity here to cut into this lead. Nice play, good dribble penetration, waited for that screen to come through the double team, and Ronaldo rolling back to the rim was able to convert, Matt.
Yeah, he showed awesome patience there. He had 2 guys on him kind of dribbling around his knees. You'll see it. Look at that. Got a bunch of guys on him. Dixon rolls with it. There it is.
3 guys, in
kind
fact.
Of a modified pick and roll. Worked perfect.
To perfection, and a great defensive play on the back end, as they were able to get the last touch off Christie and force the turnover. So the Canes showing life coming out of that timeout. Wide open and 2-handed slammer jammer facial.
I can't believe he didn't get called there either.
By Cox. The Storm falling asleep defensively in an outstanding stretch pass the length of the court, as Anthony Cox was able to convert over Christie.
Great court awareness. Big steal by Dixon.
Dixon turning it up defensively. So whatever Coach Mike Leslie said in that timeout, it seems to be working right now. Ronaldo tries his hand, 3 shots short, and rebound by Christie. I think if Ronaldo was able to convert that 3 ball, that probably would have lifted the roof off the Scotiabank Center.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Wow, Ronaldo trying his hand. Looked like he lost his footing a little bit there too, Matt.
Yeah, I think that's the second one he's taken now, and his stroke doesn't look too.
But he can make it. He can make it. I'm
like
going
a
to give
Sean
him.
Marion type.
I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I've seen him make that 3 ball when he's comfortable. His feet just weren't set on that last shot.
Oh, I'll buy that.
So shot clock dwindling, 10 seconds here. Carson coming back for the Storm. Carson, tricky dribble. Kicks it back out to Thomas. Thomas got a fire. Challenge, shot short. Rebound by Cox. Outstanding
Great
defensive
D.
stop there in that possession by the Canes.
Good job as Zimmerman forced Terry to take that step back. Oh my goodness.
Inside of Ronaldo. Ronaldo can't convert. And a good lob pass inside by Zimmerman. Ronaldo unable to convert through the contact as the officials continue to let these two teams play it out. Carson now off the screen. Pocket pass, dribble hand off to Corey. Corey driving, contact there. Shot's no good. Rebound, Baines. Baines strong to the hole, but Ronaldo with good rim protection.
Great job of Cox there to not leave his feet, go straight up and alter that.
Canes in transition, and the teardrop is no good as an offensive call. A charge called on Antoine Mason in transition, much to the chagrin of the Scotiabank faithful.
Yeah, they're not too happy here. I can't say I blame them.
So, multiple substitutions by the Canes. Is coming back for them is Mike Poole. Take a look at the replay. Might have been the right call as Terry Thomas was set outside of the restricted zone.
I don't even know so much as the fact that he was set, or when Mason went up there, he had
Didn't
his
have a
knee
chance to
out.
come down.
Yeah. You go up with your knee out looking for it, sometimes the refs are going to call you the other way.
So CJ into the game now for the Canes, and bang! It's a two-point jumper, a floater. Look like a rainbow jump shot by Carson. Haven't seen much of that part of his game in the first two quarters.
No, he's been
Very
mostly
aggressive.
driving and being aggressive, but he can shoot too. I mean, you know, you don't get invited to play in the NBA, the summer league, without being able to at least do more than one thing. And for him, obviously the dribble, drives, and the jump shots. See if Mason can finish this.
So the pace is starting to quicken, going end to end. Both teams coming up with some easy opportunities in transition, but it's still a three-point lead for the Storm with 5:25 left in the second quarter.
McCulloch in the game.
We have a media timeout. 5:25 as we're trying to get things sorted out. Nevertheless, a timeout here on the floor. 3-point lead by the Storm, Matt. Both teams going back and forth. The action starting to pick up. What are you impressed with so far?
What I'm picking up now, or what I'm most impressed with, is this second quarter. Halifax has looked a little bit more together. They've looked a little bit more in sync where they didn't in the first. That's what's brought them back. They're within 3 points now. Not that they've ever been too far away, but they look like they know a little bit more. There's a little bit more clicking on the offensive end. The defensive end is definitely picked up. Ronaldo Dixon's doing a great job underneath there with those bigs, getting his arms up, playing some tight D.
Just to take a quick look at the statistics, Canes shooting a blistering 56% from the field. Doing an outstanding job that way, but where they're shooting great offensively, defensively starts continuing the struggle, surrendering 10 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot, and it's not even at the halftime yet.
And points in the paint, 8-point advantage for the Canes at 28-20. The high men thus far for each team. Billy White with 11 and Terry Thomas with 9. White finish up with 5 rebounds as well. Can you excuse me? So coming out of this media timeout, we mentioned Canes down by 3, 43-40, 5:25 left. Scotiabank Center. Vince Williams, Matt Elliott with the call. Halifax Hurricanes basketball here on their Halifax YouTube channel.
Look at the another big telling stat here. The Island, the Storm have been to the free throw line 12 times to Halifax's 6.
And that speaks to the aggressiveness. And another shot coming in at that timeout. So that's 2 consecutive timeouts that the Storm have been able to convert and execute offensively. Good shot there, connecting, and pushes the lead back to 5. Zimmerman Crosses
Nice
over
dish.
inside. CJ with the flush. Slam dunk.
Good job, good patience as Zimmerman there. Waited for the set, called the play with 5 seconds left, made the dish. Oof.
Lots of bodies hitting the floor as Carson penetrates inside the paint. And it looked like a charging call on Jaheel Carson. As you can see in that last offensive possession. Good dish inside that painted area, drawing the defense, and CJ with the one-handed finish. Zimmerman now, closely guarded by Carson, looking for a screen. Kicks it to CJ. Mason tries his hand for three.
He's got
And
it.
contact again from distance in the same spot as Terry Thomas tried to close out, but he drew the contact on the elbow on Antoine Mason, and Mason will go to the line again for 3 shots. Mason gets the first.
Thomas not happy about the call, but if you look at the replay, he gets his elbow. I don't know if they're going to put it up here, but from where I'm sitting, he did. Whether or not Mason flared it out or not is inconsequential. The fact of the matter is Thomas's hand got his elbow. You got to give him the call.
I must admit, I have to side with you on that analysis as Mason makes 2 of 3, but again, on the third miss, the Canes come up with the offensive rebound. Ronaldo's jumpers, no good, unable to convert and take advantage of that rebound. Carson slashing again, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2, drawing the contact, and that'll be on Mike Poole. His second, team number 4.
If I'm Carson, I don't see any reason not to keep driving the lane. He's getting fouled more than half the time, getting his free throws.
And the parade to the free throw line continues for the Storm.
5 of 5 so far for him from the line.
As McCullough checks in for the first time for the Island Storm. And he hits the second, so Carson continued to be perfect on the night from the charity stripe. He has 10 on the evening. Mason looking for space. CJ reverses Zimmerman, wide open, fires, bang!
Again, great patience by Halifax. And Island Storm are playing super tight defense there. Didn't look like Halifax was going to have a place to go. They just kept putting the ball around the perimeter and he got that shot.
Good ball movement and moving the defense, passing up good shots for better shots. Zimmerman, a wide open Jay from distance. Gibson tried to back down Ronaldo. Ronaldo, good job defensively. Mason now trying to cross over Thomas. Ronaldo swings it to Zimmerman. Poole, pump fake, blow by, pull up. Too strong, kicked around, and McCullough comes up with it.
He's out of bounds.
McCullough stepped on the sideline there and turned it over. An opportunity in transition if he would have been able to corral himself and basically get his body in a good position. They had some numbers coming back the other way on that errant shot, as Billy's looking to check back in for the Canes along with Clint Scale. So Poole will go to the bench along with Zimmerman. 3:06 left in the second quarter, 47-47. All tied up here at Scotiabank. CJ trying to back
Mismatch
down
there.
McCullough. Kicks it out to Billy. Billy fires. Shot's no good. Rebound by Thomas. Thomas racing back the other way in transition. Nice pass in
Great
transition as Gibson unable to convert. And as you mentioned, great defensive play to knock it off and knock it out of bounds, excuse me. It didn't last touch by Gibson, but nevertheless an opportunity to continue this possession with 19 seconds on the shot clock are the Storm as Watson comes back the other way for the Canes. Mason will go to the bench. Wide open jumper, misses everything as Baines.
Baines did a fadeaway with nobody anywhere near him.
Not a good shot there by Baines. Probably thought that the defense was coming. Alley-oop and convert.
Great finish.
You can see it coming on the back screen. Great ball movement without the ball, and a good screen on the backside for Billy. As Clint Scales giving space. You can't give this guy space to execute that type of lob city.
Just like that, Halifax takes a 2-point lead.
CJ with the turnover. Long pass and transition and conversion. And forces a timeout
Saw that timeout coming.
for Salerno. So consecutive easy buckets in long stretch passes by Clint Scales. Pushes the lead to 4.
Yeah, good substitutions by Coach Leslie. Brings in White, Klingscales, and Watson, and they pay off immediately.
Watson, easy bucket in transition. It's a pretty good crowd here tonight on a Thursday night at Scotiabank. The kids enjoying it, getting involved. Hurricanes 4-point lead. Able to right the ship coming out of that timeout, Matt. And it looks like things are going on the upside here, the uptick when it comes to defense, not giving up those second and third chance opportunities and doing some outstanding job defensively with hands and passing lanes and rim protection.
Yeah, Halifax is playing better basketball right now, and obviously it's paying off for them. They've got a 4-point lead, but again, every time Coach Salerno calls a timeout, he's always got something good.
They're able to make those adjustments.
So interesting to see what happens with this possession.
Fans dancing in the aisles here at Scotiabank. Hurricanes trying to push their record to 7-0. Coming into game 6-0 and a consecutive winning streak dating back to June 13th when they captured the National Basketball League of Canada Championship, defeating the London Lightning in Game 7 here at Scotiabank Center. Thomas coming out of the timeout now, looking to execute offensively on this half-court set.
Joey Haywood into the game now.
Haywood checking into the game for the first time, and Baines knocks down the mid-range jumper. Draws the contact on Haywood, so not the start for Haywood.
Welcome back, Joey. Returning
to Scotiabank Center in the same colors for a different franchise.
Former two-time Canadian Player of the Year. That gives Halifax 2 former Canadians of the year with Haywood and Watson.
I'm going to leave those type of statistics and analysis up to you, as Baines able to convert on the 3-point play. So a good possession coming out of that timeout for Coach Salerno's Storm. Cuts the lead to 1 now. Clint Scales looking for the screen. Draws his screen, inside flush with the one-handed finish by CJ. So outstanding patience and dribble penetration by Clint Scales in that half-court set, Matt.
That was awesome. Again, another, he took it into the paint, was able to draw the defender up, and CJ was waiting there for it. He was able to put her in.
And Terry Thomas come back the other way. Strong left-handed move. And that's 11 on the night for Thomas. Continue to be aggressive. Nice.
Great pass by Watson.
Alley-oop and conversion by Billy White.
Billy's having a big game.
White with 15 on the night for the Canes. 3-point lead, under a minute to go here in the second. Baines fires, shots. Too strong, rebound by Haywood. Haywood racing back the other way, showing his quicks. Watson trying to back down. Gibson kicks it back out. Back inside the Watson. He's got a mismatch. Didn't know he had it, but a reset here by Klink as they're going to go back to that matchup. Nice play, and almost finishing through the contact, but it comes with CJ stepping out.
Oh, man.
So not good court awareness by CJ, as he had great
pass by Watson.
Pass, good look. I mean, Watson almost looked like he was going to take advantage of that mismatch, but great court awareness, and CJ unable to convert as he stepped on the end line. Storm will hold for last shot now.
I don't think I've seen a better passer down low. this season than Watson.
The differential of 8 seconds on the shot there. Shots up, no good. Hurricanes have an opportunity to finish strong in the quarter. And an errant pass in transition. As he was just unable to convert. CJ as Haywood tried that pass in transition.
Had the right idea, just couldn't get it where it needed to be.
Carson will fire from half court, misses everything. So that'll do it. 20 minutes in the books. Hurricanes able to rebound and get off the mat. After a timeout called by Coach Mike Leslie, they go to the halftime break with a 3-point lead, Matt.
Yeah, it's been a good game. Halifax has kind of been up and down with their game plan by the looks of things. What's sticking out to me big time so far in this one, the difference is the free throws. So far, Island Storm have 15, Halifax has 9. Island Storm has been able to convert 14 of those 15 free throws, where Halifax is only 4 or 9. You got to get those free throws, those free points, if you want to win games.
So adjustments being made by both sides as we're going to step aside at the halftime break here. The Canes leading 55-52. You are watching Halifax Hurricanes basketball on their Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Here in the downtown core in Halifax near Scotiabank Center, and the Hurricanes are in action. Don't miss out on this great NBL Canada action as they will go on the road for a mini 2-game road trip, take on the Moncton Miracles and the Cape Breton Highlanders, and then return for 3 straight versus the St. John Riptide, the Windsor Express, and the Island Storm, finishing up that mini 3-game home set. So we're just about ready to tip it off in this third quarter. Hurricanes will start with Watson, Poole, CJ, Billy, and Clint Scales. For the Island Storm, no changes there in their starting lineup. Richter, Carson, AJ Stewart, Terry Thomas, and Tyrell Baines. Poole now. CJ with the rip, gets it knocked away, gets it back though. Baines closely contesting it, and a rejection on the backside by AJ.
Great.
But CJ staying with it, Matt. They're relentless on the offensive glass.
Yeah, that was some nice defense down there by the Storm as well, but good job by Washington to keep going after it.
Carson fires for 3. Shots too strong. Knocked away, and last touch, and some indecision between the officials, and it looked like it was last touch by the Canes, and it will remain Storm possession. Here in the early goings of the third, Canes 57-52. Baines, handoff to Carson. Baines reverses. Thomas fires for 3. Shots too strong. Rebound by Poole.
Halifax got lucky there. It's not normally a guy you want to leave open at the top of the three-point line like that.
Wide open from distance. Terry Thomas had a good look. Clint Scales thought about it, but good closeout by Richter.
Great first half by Clint Scales with 8 assists.
And a step on the sideline again. It seems to be, every few possessions, both teams, commit that type of turnover. Court awareness just not good around the sidelines. I'm not sure if it's, the dimensions. The dimensions are all the same. Is it just another same? They're just not finding their way around the court when it comes to the sidelines, and sometimes on the baseline.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like the 3rd or 4th time it's happened today. I don't know if it's the lighting or what. But
well, it's a thing that seems to happen a lot. At least twice or maybe 3 times in a run of the game. Now, whether it happens to the Canes, but it seems to happen to everybody that comes in, including the Canes. You would think that, they would be acclimated with the friendly surroundings here at the Scotiabank Center. As Thomas was able to hit the first.
Gotta make these sidelines brighter maybe. Put some reflective tape on them.
Yeah, well, I think it's a little bit with the blue, and then you got the yellow there too, right?
Yeah.
Could be part of the factor there. So Thomas was able to knock down both. Terry Thomas has 13 on the evening for the Storm. Clint Scales now. Billy looking inside, back to Clint Scales. CJ moving without the basketball. Inside the Watson, nice pocket pass. Back the Poole. Poole fires for 3. Shots no good. Rebound by Baines. So missed opportunity on that possession by the Canes. Carson looking to be aggressive with dribble penetration. Hand off to Baines, and a good knockaway stripped by Clint Scales. Yeah, pulls up for 3. Misses everything, but it turns into an assist.
Right out of the playbook.
As Watson able to convert standing underneath the basket. 59-54.
Oh, look at that.
Poole, showtime. Two-handed, easy dunk. As Thomas is on the floor, and he is in a lot of difficulty right now holding his face.
I didn't see what happened there, so you can see it on the replay.
Looked like he caught Mike Poole's right shoulder as he was making his way down the court.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to make a play on the ball there, and Mike just kept going forward.
Definitely accidental for sure. Yeah. Let's hope that Terry Thomas is not down for long and doesn't sustain any type of long-going injury here. But when you get a shot to the head, sometimes want to think maybe, it's in that area of a possible concussion.
Yeah. That's a real consideration, more so now than it ever was.
Absolutely.
Concussion protocols and everything like that.
In the world of sports,
yeah.
Not sure if the NBL Canada has such a thing. So it's probably going to leave it up to the medical staff here of the Hurricanes to check on Terry Thomas, whether he's okay or not. But right now, he's in a lot of discomfort on the floor trying to check for vision.
Yeah,
And if it's
like
blurry, it's definitely it has to do with something with, that brain rattling around, inside his skull.
I think he's favoring that left eye a bit, like he took a shot.
Yeah. So let's hope it's just contact to the eye and nothing, in the way of a brain type of situation where a possible concussion may come out of this.
Yeah, and let's hope he gets back on the court today. I mean, as if you're a Hurricanes fan, you never, you don't want to see the other team's best player.
Hurricane, Storm fan, a basketball fan, a fan of sports. You don't want to see anybody leave the playing field, suffer any type of long-term injury.
And as a basketball fan, a guy like Terry Thomas, you just want to see him on the court because he's fun to watch play
absolutely.
ball.
He's definitely electric, and he has been electric tonight.
He's been awesome all
for
season.
the Storm, leading 13 before he has to leave the game. Leader in points, thus far. Back to the action now, 61-54, Hurricanes lead. O'Corey checks in for Thomas. A.J. Stewart, jumper, shot short. Rebound by Billy. Strong pass in transition by Klink. Back to Klink. He swings at the Poole. Poole rises, fires, and bang!
Great ball movement there.
Mike Poole catching his stride from distance there. Struggled a little bit in the first 20 minutes trying to find his range.
And you know what set that up was CJ running back, getting down court, Klink getting it to him quick. That put the Island Storm on their heels defensively. They couldn't recover, and Mike got that nice three.
And a good play in transition coming back the other way and forces Salerno to a timeout. As you can see, the Canes starting to turn it up offensively and looking to run in transition and get some easy buckets by that way. But you got to give credit to the Canes guards, in particular Clint Scales. He just knows when to turn that switch off and on.
Yeah, this is the best game I've seen from him so far as dishing the ball. The guys are getting down court. He's seen everyone well before the defense picks him up, it seems. And it's to the tune of 9 assists now, I believe, 8 or 9 assists. But he's just moving the ball around the court awesome, and it's opening up a lot of opportunities for the Hurricanes.
Absolutely. That stretch pass from half court has been there, and it's been on time, and it's been on the money. 8 assists in all for Clint Scales. No points on tonight, but it doesn't matter. That's not his game. He's paid to distribute the basketball and get the ball in the hands of the guys that can fill the basket. And right now, he's done an outstanding job forcing Coach Salerno to a timeout. Just take a quick look at the percentages here. Canes still continuing to shoot the basketball at a blistering pace at 55% from the field. Island Storm struggling at 39, Matt.
Yeah, and that's obviously going to make a difference. If you're hitting your shots, you're getting your field goals, you're getting the points. If only they could get their free throws as accurate as they got their field goals, we'd be laughing right now.
And they've done an outstanding job as well, the Canes that is, of limiting the one-and-dones here early in this third quarter. The Island Storm finished the first 20 minutes with 10 offensive rebounds, and they only have 2 thus far. Canes catching up in that category as well with 9 offensive rebounds, but 46 points in the paint for the Canes, almost double, 22 to be exact, doubling up the Island Storm points in the paint, Matt. That's got to be a storyline.
Oh, big time. But it's a surprising one, to be honest with you, because you remember the first few minutes of this game, it seemed like the bigs from the Island Storm were having their way underneath
they were dominating.
with Halifax. But Billy's really done a good job. Ronaldo Dixon and C.J. Washington getting into that paint and getting points for Halifax.
Doing an outstanding job thus far, but the job is not done. Richter coming out of the timeout. He gets the floater to go. Help side defense, a little too late there by Washington as he's able to convert. Bullet pass inside, a little too strong there by Billy to Mike Poole.
Not sure why Poole tried to catch that with one hand instead of 2, but it looked like it was going to be a decent pass. Great D by Poole.
Makes up for that mistake there on the other end. CJ lost the handle there on a 3-on-1. Storm have numbers. O'Corey fires for 3, bang, and he's going to make that almost 9 times out of 10 if he gets a standstill jumper from distance. Nick O'Corey is lethal from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he had nothing but time to hit that one.
Clint Scales now. Storm Still down, 66-59. Billy thought about it, swings it, Watson. Quick drive to the basket. Crazy reverse there, try to draw the contact, call not coming.
Yeah, he was hoping for contact there.
Storm racing back the other way, and a good foul in transition by CJ as Carson, we're looking to get it going towards the basket there and force the issue in transition.
Uncharacteristic of Watson to put up kind of a wild shot like that. I know he wanted the contact, but normally even when he puts it up, he's got a good chance at it. That he really did. Corey open again.
Oh, Corey misses the three. He was wide open looking. You can't let that guy shoot, as they were able to dodge a bullet. And CJ coming back the other way.
Again, Cleanscale seeing the guy that needs to get the ball and just getting it to him.
Absolutely.
With that foul.
And it's all in part by Cleanscales having that space. Not sure what the game plan is for Carson in the way of defending Cleanscales, but he's given him a lot of space to make decisions with that basketball.
Yeah, he is, and it's burning him. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised because normally Carson's he's a very tight defender. I would say he's probably not a lot quicker, but he's quicker than Cleanscales agility-wise, so he would have no problem with him if he moves up. But for whatever reason, he's given him the space.
So Watson will go to the bench, and Taquan Zimmerman will check in along with Antoine Mason for the Canes.
Another three-guard set.
CJ looking to convert, and he makes both. CJ on the evening has 17 for the Canes. Beautiful spin, try to get the two-hander to go, but good recovery by CJ, able to get in position to try to force that tough shot at the rim, but the bad thing, he picked up number 4.
Yeah.
And that summons Ronaldo off the bench.
Yeah, you got to take an extended period of time on the bench now, which you don't want with one of your top scorers. But great footwork by Gibson. That was a great spin move to get himself to the basket.
I think he surprised CJ on that move.
I think so. He surprised me.
Gibson, a big fella. 6'9", center from Houston University. Able to knock down both.
Played in the Drew League.
D-League experience in the association. So good quickness, took advantage of CJ on his backside there. Found Cleanscales now. Inside the Billy. Billy, shots too strong, rebound by Christie. Christie coming back for the Island Storm.
Another great look by Cleanscales, just Billy couldn't get her to go.
Gibson's shot's no good. Zimmerman picks up the loose ball. Zimmerman now. Ronaldo. As you can see, Gibson giving a lot of space and from beyond the arc to Ronaldo. Thought about it but didn't put it up. Shot clock dwindling. Billy move with the left hand and a beautiful teardrop left hand and skyhook in the lane. Was able to blow by Christie and finish with the left hand in the lane. Beautiful finish by Billy.
Finish. Gibson wasn't expecting that.
Gibson trying to back down Ronaldo. Left hand, and he gets it to go. So Gibson starting to go to work for the Island Storm. Zimmerman, jump shot's good.
Nice shot off the dribble.
On rhythm, it looked like it was early in the shot clock. Didn't have any rebounders underneath the basket, but the confidence of Taquan Zimmerman has been shown every single game here at Scotiabank, along with Antoine Mason.
Yeah, and as a coach, when you see a guy take a shot like that with only rebounders, you kind of cringe a little bit, but when it goes in.
And a little too fancy there in transition. Cleanscales tried to convert that pass between the legs, a bounce pass between the legs in transition. As the officials get it right, it was last touch by the Island Storm. So, an opportunity here for the Hurricanes. 72-63, Canes continuing to lead here in the third. Mason fires for three, shot short, gets his own rebound, great hustle. Off the shot is Mason. Contact there, can't draw the contact and call, but Anthony Cox cleaning up the garbage. So second and third chance opportunities that trip down, along with a call that went off them. The Island Storm not beneficiaries of that defensive set there. Jump shot's no good by Corey. He's gone ice cold since knocking down that 3-ball. And a nice pass inside. Zimmerman, unselfish basketball, and an easy layup for Anthony Cox.
Great court spacing by the Canes there.
Extending the lead, the 13, the largest on the game thus far. Stewart, crossover, contact not called though. Great defensive rim protection there by Cox. Clinkscales looking to run. Thought about it and pulls it out. Clinkscales directing traffic. Alley-oop. Can't convert between him and Cox.
Had the right idea.
Cox compounding to the problem, fouling Christie on that rebound. And that's Anthony Cox's 4th, and it's the Hurricanes' 4th. As Christie and Gibson will go to the bench for the Storm, and checking in for the first time for the Halifax Hurricanes.
Kareem Canty.
Canty seeing some action here. So we've seen Haywood in the second quarter. Now we see Canty, the 2 transactions most recently by this Hurricanes franchise.
Yeah, 2 awesome transactions too. When you get a guy like Joey Haywood, who's an energy guy, former Canadian Player of the Year. You got Canty, a guy that played at Auburn, and when he played
in Lob City,
he's making a difference already.
Connection.
He led them in points and assists when he was on the team, so this guy can play. If you're leading a team like Auburn in points and assists, that's D1 basketball.
Raise it up. Tiger basketball here at Scotiabank Center. Auburn to Auburn. And a high shot off the glass there as Carson was able to convert. The Canty, the Mason connection in transition. How about that start, Matt?
That's a great start for anyone. Didn't even have a minute on the court, put up a beautiful lob.
And you can just see it coming out of his hands. It was right on time. And Antoine Mason showing his ups.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great little possession there. I'm excited to see, especially when Canty and Haywood have had some time to practice with the team and get kind of acclimated to the game plan, just how good they're going to be.
Shot short there by Watson.
Both players definitely big upgrades. Halifax had to drop Gideon Gamble and Terrell Edwards, both good players in their own right, but in my opinion,
well, it's looking like an upgrade. Yeah. Definitely looking like an upgrade thus far. Maybe too early to tell. The only time who's going to tell if it's going to be the right decision by
jump ball.
General Manager Mike Leslie and head coach making those transactions, bringing in Canty and Haywood.
Well, from what I've seen from Leslie so far, I have no reason to doubt him.
Yeah, done an outstanding job of shuffling around the lineup and bringing the right type of players here. As they are off to the races at a 6-0 start, looking to push it to 7. Continuing their franchise record. Chase down the London Lightning, who started the season off with 11 straight W's.
Got him on the floor.
Looked like a pushing foul. Yeah, pushing call there underneath the basket on Ronaldo. 78-65, just under 3 minutes left in the third. Hurricanes lead. Carson slashing, kicked it out to Corey. Corey with the nice blow by.
First step.
And a good finger roll at the rim of Corey. Well, you got to give it to Mason. He had no choice but to close out on the ball rotation. Yeah. And great awareness to get to the basket off the dribble by Corey. 2-time All-Star in the National Basketball League of Canada. Corey again. Oh, wow. Corey starting to heat it up, getting it going towards the rim. Finger roll through traffic, avoiding the contact. Nick Corey. Consecutive baskets, picking up the slack since Terry Thomas went down with an injury. Mason fires from 3, bang, and Mason connects. Guy can do it inside and out. He's been showing flashes of his game all night long in the reserve role. You gotta be impressed with the reserves of the Hurricanes. We keep mentioning it, but it seems to be one of the things that just keeps standing out. It just keeps glaring at us with Zimmerman and Antoine Mason.
Yeah, and they usually come on the court together. It's rare that you see Zimmerman and Antoine Mason kind of on the court separately. The great little platoon that the coach has got going here, especially when he runs those 3-guard sets with Zimmerman, Mason, and Klinkscales. So, yeah, the depth that Halifax has been just excellent so far.
And a nice backdoor cut and conversion by Al Stewart, as it looks like the Island Storm making an adjustment here and going small themselves, with 2 point guards on the floor, and Al Stewart and Jaheel Carson, along with Nick Okori, who plays the 2. Inside to Ronaldo. Ronaldo can't get the shot to go. Shot clock dwindled.
Great job by Watson.
Another opportunity here. Canty, hesitation. Kicks it back out to Watson. Watson, teardrop, too strong. Canty with the putback.
Great follow-up.
And Canty with the steal. Drive inside to Mason, and Mason converts.
I can't help but like this Canty kid already, man.
The Canty, the Mason connection. The SEC is in the house. The Auburn Tigers taking over this 3rd quarter. Under a minute to go now. 85-71. Canes' largest lead on the night. Stewart thought about it. Hesitation. Baines fires shots. No
Great
good.
D.
Way off. And the Canes, if they hurry, can get a 2-for-1. Canty slows it up. Surveying. Canty gets the screen. Hesitation. Outside. Zimmerman fires. Bang! And line it up. Zimmerman connects from distance. Woo! This Canes team are on fire in the 3rd, Matty.
Canty's making his case for a lot more minutes next game.
88-71 now. Carson will hold for the last shot. Kicks it to Stewart. Stewart fires for 3 and he knocks it down. Not a good defensive closeout to the 3rd. With all the positives happening in that 3rd quarter, not a strong finish down the end defensively, Matt.
No, it's not the way you want to end it. You want to at least contest that 3 that Stewart took pretty much wide open. That being said, the last few minutes for Halifax were incredible. That's what's given them this 14-point lead at this point. Great minutes by the new man, Kareem Canty. How about him?
Wow, you have to be excited if you're a Hurricanes fan, making all the right moves and immediately connecting with the SEC connection, the Auburn Tigers. If you're not familiar with the SEC, look it up. Tigers not a real powerhouse when it comes to basketball, as that's roamed that particular division. The SEC, the Kentucky Wildcats, pretty much own it year in, year out. But you got to give it up for these 2 guys that have done an outstanding job in the 3rd quarter, and the reserves. Everybody right now thus far are firing all cylinders in that 3rd quarter for the Canes.
Yeah, way better quarter. That quarter for the Canes, by far their best one this game. As you can see, 88-74, so they bumped that lead right up to 14 points using those reserves. They're looking real good.
Canes outscore the Island Storm 33-22 in that 3rd quarter. Great offensive output as Billy continuing to lead the high man on the night with 17 and 6. Terry Thomas leads the way for the Island Storm, but we haven't seen him since he sustained some type of head injury. He has 13. Let's hope that Terry Thomas is able to return. If he's unable to return tonight, he's continuing his season. He doesn't have any long-term paralysis.
Yeah, I hope he comes back on the court this game, if not next game. Hopefully it's not, like you say, a long-term kind of injury. You hate to see a good basketball player like that, especially a local guy, get hurt. But so all the best to him.
Halifax Hurricanes basketball here at Scotiabank Center on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Vince Williams, Matt Elliott, courtside with the call tonight. Canes looking to push. They're winning to 7 games in a row to start the season. Already a franchise record, but look at the chase down, the London Lightning, who started 11-0 and hold the record for consecutive wins at the start of the season. So Canes fans out there, make sure you get engaged with the Canes on their social media handles. The website, halifaxhurricanes.ca, the Twitter handle and Instagram, HFX Hurricanes, their Facebook page, Halifax Hurricanes, and make sure you follow everything NBLC, their website, nblcanada.ca, Twitter at NBL Canada, and their Facebook page, NBL Canada. So the fourth quarter underway here. Canty, Ronaldo, Watson, Mason, and Zimmerman, the five guys that finished the third quarter very strong for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I like this lineup.
Mason fires for three, shots too strong, rebound by Watson. For the Storm, Carson, Christie, Richter, Gibson, and Al Stewart. Canty fires from three, bang! Whoa, woo! Welcome to Scotiabank, Canty, Mr. Canty, if you know what I mean.
What a great shot off the dribble.
91-74, extending the lead to their largest tonight for the Canes. Stewart gets to the rim and draws the contact on Canty, and Stewart will go to the line to shoot two. Matt, if you're a coach Salerno, what do you do at this point? I mean, you tried everything up to the first three quarters to try to contain this type of offense, but it just took off in the third quarter. What type of adjustments do you think they need to make if they're going to try to get back into this?
Well, it's tough to say. Offensively, like they seem to go away from Carson driving. They were having great success with Carson taking the ball to the rim, even when it wasn't dropping for him. One of the bigs was there to put it back. As far as defensively, this is a tough set for them, this three-guard set. They've got good guards in Okori, Stewart, and Carson, but for some reason he hasn't put all three of them out when Halifax puts the three-guard sets out, and they've been paying for that.
Mason now, dribble drive, kicks it out to Zimmerman. Wide open jumper, shots no good. Rebound by Gibson. So good defensive stop coming out of that timeout. Or excuse me, in the second possession for the Island Storm. They need lots of defensive stops. Behind the back pass, in tight by Gibson to Christie.
Nice. I don't even think Christie was expecting it.
Wow.
It was a nice pass. And that
good behind the back pass by Christie. You can see in the replay. It's probably the only pass that he could come up with as Watson closed out. And you had Ronaldo on the backside looking to protect the rim. Christie not converting though, missing the first of the of two, excuse me. 91-75, 10:34 left in the fourth. Shots too strong. Christie misses both, so a good foul there by the Canes as they were able to not allow the Island Storm to get back into this and try to get some points on that possession. Canty loses the handle, try to split the defense. Carson in transition, and he looks like he was going to be held in the act of shooting by Ronaldo. Yeah, they wanted definitely the clear path foul where you get
a clear path, yeah.
No clear path foul coming. As Coach Salerno having a conversation, an in-depth conversation with official Adam Ditien.
He's not happy about that call.
No, it's not a lot of things he's happy about right now.
No. You got down this much, missing free throws now. Carson hit that first one there, but missing two there in the other one. There they go.
Carson knocks down both. 91-77. Kane still leads. Zimmerman with the dribble drive. Knocked away. Canty. Closely guarded by Stewart. Back to Canty. Inside to Ronaldo. Ronaldo, nice roll back towards the rim. Can't get the teardrop to go. Lots of contact. It looked like Richter drew the contact. No call.
Sure did.
Stewart now in transition. Pulls it up.
Stewart directing the traffic.
Richter off the screen. Right hand's no good. Good rebound by Zimmerman. He's looking to push.
On the floor. Nice pass. Too bad.
That was a beautiful pass in transition. I'm pretty sure that Zimmerman probably would allow that push to go because Watson had a wide open layup in transition.
He sure did. Good
pocket pass in traffic by Taquan Zimmerman. When you got 2 point guards that distribute the basketball like Zimmerman and Clinkscales and don't turn it over a lot and have a very high percentage when it comes to assist and turnover ratio, good things are always going to happen.
Yeah, and that's what you want out of your point guards, obviously, the high assist-to-turnover ratio.
Yeah. And a good drive there with the left hand and finishing with the right is Antoine Mason, continuing his strong play in the second half. Looked like a holding call underneath on Tyrone Watson.
Watson don't like that.
His third, team fourth. Stewart with inbound with 16 on the shot clock. Can't get it in.
Great
a lot
feed,
of confusion. Almost a 5-second call. Watson closely guarded. Okori thought about the jumper and was looking for Gibson on the rollback. So miscommunication on that pick and roll. Stewart though with the turnover. Stewart with the burst of energy now. Can't get the layup to go as he tried to drive it 1-on-2.
He would have been better just taking it back out and letting his guys get set back up. He made a great play there.
So a missed opportunity on a defensive strength of Al Stewart. Mason thought about it. Fires over Richter, banging in his face. Good closeout by Richter, but better shot by Mason.
Yeah, it was a great shot, and he's starting to heat up now.
95-77. Stewart fires, bang! Stewart answers with a three. Al Stewart doing all he can to try to get back into this game for the Storm. Huge lead for the Canes here in the fourth.
Yeah, when you've got a lead like this, it's easier as the coach. You can leave those reserves on longer.
Rest your starters. Mason with the fadeaway.
I heard him call it too.
And
It counts. I heard him call it.
how it's been going this evening, in particular in the second half, as Mason banks it, floating away from the basket.
Yeah, he's hit his the last three shots he's taken. He's hit. They say he's starting to heat up, and when Antoine Mason heats up, look out.
He
Score a
is
lot of points.
absolutely on fire. The high man now for the Hurricanes, as Coach Salerno had no choice but to call timeout. 21 points for Antoine Mason, the bulk of them coming in the second half.
Yeah, and he's a guy that when he starts to get hot and when he starts to feel it, he's very dangerous because he's a confident player. Even when he's off his game, he still has that confidence to keep going and keep plugging away and keep shooting. So when he's on, you better believe he's going to shoot.
And away from, and just to touch on Mason, him and Zimmerman have already proven that they are a lethal force coming off the bench in the reserve role. You add Canty now, man.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
It's going to be interesting going forward for this Hurricanes team.
And it makes it tough on the opposing coaches. When you've got a team like that, when you're pulling guys off the bench that can do what these guys can do, especially when you're down, well, it's tough to find an answer for that.
Yeah, and it puts your starting lineup in a bad situation because they got to play more extended minutes, because in the end, you might not have the trust that you usually have in your reserves, and thinking that your reserves are just not as good as the Canes reserves. And tonight, they proved it thus far.
That's been the case, and it's been the case in every game so far. And that's really the kind of the secret to the success of Coach Leslie so far, is how he's been able to build depth in this team.
Game management has definitely been a gold star for Mike Leslie in this season thus far. 62 points in the paint is a glaring statistic. Dominating points in the paint are the Canes. Stewart again with the left hand. Some contact, was able to get it to go as Ronaldo was unable to alter that shot. Stewart now.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a game.
Picking up his game in this second half for the Storm. Zimmerman, and he is fouled, reaching call, and I think Al Stewart knew it.
Yeah.
Gambled, but at this point, every possession has to be a gamble going forward. 7:29 left, 97-82. Hurricanes, huge lead here at Scotiabank Center. Looking to make it 7 straight and continuing their franchise record. Canty now. It's got to go. Shot's got to go up. Fires. Too strong, and rebound by Al Stewart. Stewart back the other way. McCullough now into the game for the Storm. He fires for three. Shot's too strong, and it hits the back of the backboard and out. So
Can't blame McCullough on that one. He only gets a couple minutes a game.
Yeah,
you get a shot, you might as well take it.
Coming in, firing his way, McCullough, 6'6", shooting forward from Colorado Christian. As Canty goes to the bench as well as Dixon. A huge hand here by the Scotiabank faithful for the efforts of Canty, no doubt. Clint Scales come back the other way, is long with CJ.
Still the three-guard set. It's easy to go with those three-guard sets when you got guys down low like White and Washington who know what they're doing.
CJ taking advantage of the mismatch inside with Richter.
And really, what does it say about a team that runs so much three-guard sets but still has over 60 points in the paint?
Perseverance and keeping and adhering to the game plan of pounding that paint early and often throughout this game.
Great defense underneath.
Good rim protection by Billy and CJ. As Billy comes up with the loose ball. 99-82. Just about 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Hurricanes with a very comfortable lead. Mason, contact. Can't finish through the contact, but he'll go to the line to shoot two, and Richter puts his hands up in frustration. It's just been that kind of night for the Island Storm along with Richter.
Yeah, Mason's doing a good job of drawing that contact all game, too. These should be, I think, his 7th and 8th free throws today, if I'm correct. Excuse me, it's 5th and 6th.
He misses the first. 23 points off the bench. Antoine Mason, the son of former superstar for the Knickerbockers, Anthony Mason, and he makes the second. 23 now for Mason. Gotta like that production when you can get 23 plus points, the 20 plus points, excuse me, from your reserves, as Al Stewart finishes with the left hand.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're one of your leading scorers is one of your reserves, for sure.
Clint Scales closely guarded by Stewart. Zimmerman now. Good cross-court pass to Mason. Fire shot, no good. Kicked around, rebound by Okori. Corey drives by Zimmerman, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. 5:53 left. Canes lead 100-84. See in the replay there, lots of contact between Okori as he was able to get his body inside on Zimmerman and give himself an opportunity after 2 free throws here.
And he's been busy today, has Okori.
Corey knocks down both. Corey's got 15 on tonight, and that's the game high thus far for the Storm. Billy now trying to back down Christie. Quick move inside the paint, kicks it to Mason. Mason, tricky dribble between the legs and crossover. Got a little bit of a mismatch here on Christie if he wants it. And Christie crashes into the placards here on the sideline. As he tried to save that ball, he was able to knock it away from Mason. So temporarily a victory for Christie, trying to guard Mason out in space, but a definite mismatch for Antoine Mason if he wanted it, taking Christie to the basket. Lob City. Billy can't convert, but CJ slashing, trying to get that put back there, but an outstanding effort rolling back and blocking out was Al Stewart, not allowing CJ that easy finish.
Yeah, Coach Leslie thought he got hit as he was coming through there. But
lots of contact. Just under 5 minutes to go. Ball's knocked away, Okori picks it up. Looks like he wanted to pull it up. He's trying to go to work on Mason. Can't get there. Richter fires from 3, wide open look, and Richter connects and forces a timeout by Coach Mike Leslie, and he wants to have a chat with crew chief Peter Phipps about maybe a questionable call underneath the basket on that last offensive possession.
Yeah, he's not too happy about when CJ went through there. He ended up on the ground. I think that Coach Leslie thought that he got hit. Obviously nothing was called. led to points on the other end. And Richter's one of those guys that you kind of forget about, and then all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere, he starts hitting shots. You can't leave him alone either, even though he's not going to drop a whole lot of points on you every game.
Now, he is a three-point specialist. Not getting a lot of opportunities tonight, as the Canes have done an outstanding job defensively closing out and not allowing those wide open looks, as the Storm have struggled from distance, 5 for 12. And Al Richter has 7, and he's 1 for 1 for distance. So just taking another look at the upcoming schedule for the Hurricanes. The Canes will go on the road for a mini 2-game road trip, as they will take on next Thursday, January the 19th, take on the Moncton Miracles and visit the Moncton Coliseum. And then they'll travel down the Trans-Canada Highway for game number 2 of that 2-game road trip, Saturday, January the 21st, 7 p.m. tip-off at Center 200 versus the Cape Breton Highlanders. But they return back the following week for a 3-game set, where the St. John Riptide and the Windsor Express and the close it out, the Island Storm will close out that 3-game home stretch.
3 good games against 3 strong teams. Looking forward to that.
Get engaged, fans, with the Facebook, Twitter handle, Instagram, as well as the website, of the Halifax Hurricanes. Have your say.
And don't forget to grab your tickets from Ticket Atlantic.
Zimmerman tried to go off the dribble against Richter, but Billy's there to clean up the garbage. Billy, another strong night for the Canes. Okori, reverse layup, not there. Putback's no good by Christie. Shooting struggles continue for the Storm.
Poole has been quiet today.
CJ trying to back down Wayne McCullough. McCullough not happy with the physicality between him and CJ. As AJ Stewart will come back for the Storm, as Christie will go to the bench for Coach Salerno. Poole. Zimmerman holding it now. Not in any hurry. Huge lead. Crossover. A little bit of a push-off. Jumper's good. Definitely looked like Michael Jordan pulling up on Craig Elo on that particular offensive possession.
Poor Craig Elo.
And Stewart with a two-hander.
Nice pass by
As
Okori.
Nick Okori having words with Paul Hansen about a push-off on that last defensive possession on Zimmerman. 104-91.
Yeah, Craig Elo. He had a pretty good NBA career. Most remembered for getting eaten up by Jordan.
Just not against Michael Jordan and the Chicago
That's
Bulls.
right.
Everybody else, pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okori thought about it, blow by, and count it in traffic as he was able to blow by Billy with the left hand. Drew the contact and finished. 3:07 left. It's only an 11-point lead now.
Yeah, they're slowly plugging away.
Slowly plugging away, quietly plugging away are the Island Storm.
If you're Halifax, you got to try to slow down the pace a bit. You got 3 minutes left. You got an 11-point lead. Make sure you get the most out of each of your possessions. You see, they're going to put the press on here. Got to be playing to break that.
And an offensive foul called on Zimmerman. Maybe
That
a
is
makeup.
Tough call.
Maybe a makeup from a couple possessions where he was able to cross over Nick Okori. Drew a little bit of the contact and able to get the floater to go. Crunch time now, it's winning time, both teams. 10-point lead, 3 minutes left in the fourth as Mike Leslie is pleading with his team to defend. Shot short, no good. Last touch by Zimmerman, and it'll be 18 seconds on the shot clock. Storm trying to cut this to a one-digit deficit, as Tyrell Baines will come back the other way for the Storm. as Wayne McCullough will go to the bench. So some tense times right now, Matt. Just under 3 minutes. Canes lead by 10.
Oh yeah, you know Salerno wasn't going to, wasn't going to wave the white flag anytime soon. He'll press to the very end for this one.
And you got a lot of veterans on that Storm team that have a lot of pride. Hal Stewart, Nick Okorie, they've been the catalyst in this fourth quarter, in this comeback attempt.
Great job of Halifax there, getting that rebound.
Missed opportunity for the Storm here. Clint Scales kicks it. Zimmerman fires. Shot short. Stewart. Storm looking to push. Richter and rejection. And a foul on the, looks like on the elbow, as Al Richter will go to the line to shoot 2.
Great hustle by Zimmerman.
Outstanding effort by Zimmerman. Not giving up the freebie in transition. Looked like Richter was rising up and trying to throw that down with a 2-hand flush. So Richter's gonna have to earn it.
But again, Halifax, in my opinion, they put up that shot too quick. You know, you've got this lead, you've got this time, you've got to try to burn as much of that clock as you can. Once you get it across that half, you're good to go. Set up your play and take your time.
Richter, outstanding free-throw shooter, and he misses the second. So a little bit of a missed opportunity in that possession as he's able to get one, but a 9-point lead. Clint Scales driving inside the CJ, and CJ finishes.
Great finish.
CJ in space, outstanding dish by Clint Scales. Great court vision down the stretch by Klink, and he's got 11 assists on the night. Excuse me, that's 12.
That should be 12, yeah. Great job by
CJ with the rebound. So the clamps are starting to close down on the Island Storm, not getting the same quality shots they were getting previous trips down.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to push it too quick. They realize they're down by a fair bit with a little bit of time, and they're just trying to get up whatever shots they can.
Zimmerman, exclamation point, no good. Opportunity here for the Storm. Stewart try to get into the open floor in transition, and a good foul by Clint Scales. As the Storm had some numbers, but an opportunity for Stewart to go to the line with the clock not moving. So timeout on the floor, called by Coach Leslie and the Canes. There's 1:39 left in the fourth quarter, 106-95. Things getting a little tight here at Scotiabank Center.
Yeah, it's getting tight. They're closing, but with just over a minute and a half left to go in the game, the Island Storm's going to be hard pressed to claw their way back into this one, but you never know.
Well, they are definitely going to try to push it to the very end, as there's no giving up by this Storm team, being down as much as 22 points at one point in the third quarter. But they have battled back in this fourth, got some quality shots, all on the back by their veterans. Coming off the bench, Al Stewart and Nick Okorie.
Yeah, and I'm usually a guy that makes the argument that coaches get a little bit too much credit, but as far as Salerno goes, I think he's done a good job of keeping his guys focused. Like I said, not waving the white flag. They've clawed their way back. He's had some great timeouts, but you've only got so much time to do it. Especially
when you got your leading scorer in the locker room, not able to fight with his teammates.
Great point.
Terry Thomas went down in the third quarter.
Great point.
What looks like a head injury, either an eye or possible concussion, but he left the game, and he was doing an outstanding job defensively and offensively. He was the team's leading scorer at that point at 13. Thus, to this point, Nick Okorie has taken over that role with 18.
Yeah, it's tough when you lose your top player, offensive and defensive. In my opinion, Terry Thomas is that for these guys. So he was a huge loss, and it makes climbing back that much harder.
Stewart makes both. Back down to single digits.
Storm get the press on again.
Trying to up the tempo here and force turnover. Clint Scales spins the defense. Good job by Zimmerman, as Okorie was just a half a step late trying to pick that off. Clint Scales did a good job of splitting the defense through the contact. So Corey picks up his second, team fifth. So a couple more fouls to give by the Storm before the Canes are in the penalty.
There you go.
Good job breaking the pressure. 15 on the shot clock.
It's all the time you got.
10. Billy backing down Stewart. Teardrop, no good. Had the look they wanted out of that possession. Billy unable to convert.
Uncharacteristic miss for him that close.
Under a minute, they gotta go. Corey fires, bang, and he bangs it down for 3.
That's a 6-point lead now, just like that.
6-point lead, 2-possession game.
Good job of breaking the press there. No.
Differential though in the shot clock and game here. 35 seconds left, 10, 20-second differential. Zimmerman's gotta go. Inside to CJ, reverse, good.
What an excellent pass by Zimmerman.
Good pass, breaking down the defense by Zimmerman. Stewart racing back the other way, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So the Storm not giving up. Clock is against them, but it's only an 8-point lead for the Canes. Stewart can knock down these 2. It'll be a 2-possession game. He knocks down the first. As it looks like Wayne McCullough's coming back for the Storm. Might be some defensive strategy here as the Storm either need to try to gamble, get the steal, or foul right away. As he comes in for Tyrell Baines.
And they're bringing in a guy, McCullough, that can shoot that 3 as well.
He's able to knock down that 3. 3-point specialist. Zimmerman now, bottled up, gets it to Poole, good ball control. CJ, it's a 2-handed finish. Breaking down that pressure, Matty, and an easy opportunity, flush at the rim. Richter's 3's no good.
Yeah, Washington's benefiting from that, from Halifax's press break. He's down the other end there.
Absolutely, huge night by CJ again offensively. And that should do it, 6.4 seconds left. 110-102. Richter with the easy bucket.
Washington, another great in-season pickup by the Hurricanes. Remember, wasn't on the team for the first 2 games of the season.
So another, as you mentioned, great transaction and find CJ. And he's been a producer since game 1. Zimmerman will hold this out. And round number 2 will go to the Halifax Hurricanes as they extend their streak to 7 straight. They defeat the Island Storm 110-104. Very impressive win by the Hurricanes tonight. The difference was that third quarter, the separation, and down the stretch, they pretty much almost went on cruise control as the Island Storm had some fight back.
Yeah, they were able to score enough points in that third quarter, give themselves a nice cushion where even when the Island Storm made the pushback, it wasn't enough to come close to winning the game.
So that'll do it here from Scotiabank Center. For Matt Elliott, I'm Vince Williams. Thank you for joining us for Halifax Hurricanes basketball on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. The Halifax Canes get it done, extended 7 games in a row to start the season, defeat the Island Storm 110-104.